Welcome everybody to the second webinar here in Dunkermotoren. I hope everybody is able to hear me. If not, then please show a sign or something. But it should be okay, I guess. So welcome to the second webinar of Dunkermotoren's product partnership with SIMATIC MicroDrive, and the second session is about intralogistics. The duration of this meeting is, as the first meeting was around about 20 to 30 minutes. We have the possibility to answer questions and to deal with the chat at the end of the session. So please spare the questions for the end of the session or write them down in the chat. Then we can read them and answer them accordingly. Please be informed that this session is recorded. So therefore, after the session, we will put it on YouTube, and everybody has the possibility then to see the session again or to share it with others in this case. All right, so let's start off with the MicroDrive intralogistics session. All right, so the major topics we want to touch today is a little bit of overview of the intralogistics. What is intralogistics and what applications we do have in the intralogistics area. Secondly, we want to show you solutions which we offer in partnership with Siemens, and of course how you get advice and support for the application, and to deal finally with your questions and want to give you sophisticated and reliable answers to that. First of all, what is intralogistics? Intralogistics is becoming more and more important factor as more and more people ordering goods via the internet. So packages, pallets and everything in the logistics needs to be transported, forwarded, sorted. And therefore, in the application, we have several sub-applications which we want to show here. Let us begin with cross-belt sorters. These are systems which divide or which sort packages or trays to loading bays to feed out cartons to other places where these needed to be collected. So therefore, these cross-belt sorters are essential for distributing and sorting the packages in the logistics center. Secondly, also in the sorting sector, there are the rollers. They actually transport them, the packages, as the cross-belt sorters divide them and pull them off the main transport. Then there are shuttle systems in the vertical area. They handle trays or small boxes or even pallets and move them in the vertical area and in in the storage on the horizontal. And finally, we have AGV systems, automated guided vehicles, which run autonomously sometimes or guided by strips in the floor from point A to point B. And in the end, there is a second system which runs on a high-rise storage system, which are bot systems. They collect and sort goods from the storage and put them together in one box. So let's start with the cross-belt sorter. as I mentioned, they transport and sort out goods within the facility. So we have their rollers which transport the goods, or belt systems which transport the goods. The goods are usually transported with a speed from 1.2 to 2, maybe even 2.5 meters per second. So rather quick in order to have a high throughput. There are also sorting systems which organize the packages and the trays and sort them into single positions that they can be sorted out and feed it out to the actual base. In the system, there is also very often integrated a reader unit which reads off the package, the barcode, in order to sort out and feed out then the goods to the right place. That, for example, at the loading bay, the truck driver can get all his parcels, put them into his lorry for shipping them out. The sorting units itself, which is shown here a little bit in this area, yeah, you see that they are sometimes with a belt or with a hinged transport. So the package can be either fed out with the belt itself, that the package gets a direction to the right or to the left or curved wise, or if it is a hinged one, then the package slits off the tray into the loading bay. So both solutions are offered in the market from the various manufacturers. What are the functions? The functions we need here is communication and quick process control, which can be done with Profinet, because Profinet is a quite quick and reliable solution, and in combination with MicroDrive, an onboard system from the controller. What also is needed is high dynamic motors, because due to the speed and the sorting speed, we need quick and fast movements to sort out the goods off the belt. The second part are the rollers. So this is just the forward transport you see here in the picture, to move the parcels and the packages quite quickly through the whole machinery or through the whole storing area. So this is more integrated motors, more simple functionality. However, the rollers can be on a belt system, they can have a belt system, or there are classic rollers. Both is possible, and therefore a connection from various rollers with one motor is likely, but also one motor for a belt-driven transport is possible. The functions also communication, because the rollers need to be synchronized in speed, and when there is an outfeed of the parcel which is not with a hinged system but with an roller system or with an angled transport, then you have to speed up the parcel in order to keep an equidistant between the following parcel, that they do not crash into each other. So therefore, speed control via the net, the field net communication is also essential here. Also, quick acceleration is needed, because due to the speed of the parcels, the acceleration must be done within some milliseconds in order to feed out the parcel in the right way. Next thing are shuttle systems. So in this case, we go into the high-rise storage area, where you have trays or parcels or pallets which are stored vertically, and in one line, a shuttle is moving the parcel or the tray or the pallet forwards and backwards and feeds it into the storage system or gets it off the storage system and transports it then to a bay where it will be transported elsewhere. So the high-rise warehouse holds then these shuttles. They are driven usually with batteries or with power caps. So therefore they run autonomously. They have sensors to detect the distance they have driven and to position accurately in front of the pallet or the tray. And with a telescope arm, they can move in or push in, pull out the trays or the pallets off the storage to the shuttle itself. There are also shuttles which are able to handle various width of the pallets. So it's not just, or the trays, so it's not just for one size of the pallet available, it's also for various sizes in width and length of the goods available. The function also here is quick communication, because within the system on each level a shuttle is running and working, and as the goods are brought in or got out from the system quite quickly, the communication needs to be quick and safe. As there are also sometimes people involved, safety functions are necessary. Positioning is crucial for the system to move the shuttle right in front of the good to be transported with an accuracy of 1 millimeter or less. That also the telescope arms move in and out of the warehouse without crashing to the transported goods. And as already mentioned, we have a battery or a power cap driven system. So the whole shuttle runs usually on 48-volt DC battery systems or power cap systems, which need to be loaded on a loading bay or somewhere to run them independently in the tracks. The AGV systems here to the right, they're transporting also pallets or trays or goods within the warehouse, but they run independently or can run independently. They can navigate independently if allowed, and they can transport the goods from a loading bay to a storage area, or they run goods within a manufacturing from one manufacturing place to the next one, especially when you have modern industrial structures where you have a one-piece flow system and customization, then the AGV can handle the good and move it to the right transport pack area as programmed. In this case, if it is self navigating or running in open space, then extended safety features are necessary, which are provided. And as this runs independently, also battery-driven shuttles are usually the case. The function here, also a communication with an overarched system to control the navigation, to know what is transported to which place. So therefore, maybe also wireless communication is needed. The safety functions must be on a higher level. In most cases, STO level is not only the sole solution. Sometimes safety speed or others other safety levels are needed. And the shuttle needs to be controlled with additional sensoring, which is shown later in a slide, to avoid collisions and, of course, to protect people running around. An AGV needs also to be positioned precisely, especially when it's transported of manufacturing goods. Maybe if it transports something for measuring purposes, then maybe precise position is needed. And as mentioned, also battery-driven system. Finally, the bot systems, they developed over the last years as ordering of goods and food becomes more and more popular, for example, via Amazon or other online food companies. They usually pick within the warehouse the goods in a vertical way, so they run on top of the warehouse, as you can see here, and they pick from below the goods into a baggage and transport then the whole collection to a loading bay where it's packed and then shipped to the customer. So these bots also running autonomously. They guide themselves and navigate through the system, work on their material list and collect it autonomously and transport it then to the packing station. They are also usually battery driven, and they can operate in two directions. As you can see it here in the pictures. The functions are also good communication in order for a good coordination of the movements and the autonomous navigation. Safety functions are also needed when it comes to hand over the goods, but the autonomous transport of the goods is the essential key here, that there is no jam on the transport and the system runs smoothly. The positioning is quite essential, that the bot is precisely positioned over the pickup position to get the goods. And of course, as it runs autonomously, also battery driven on 48-volt DC battery is the standard in this case. Now, how to solve all these applications? In this case, the SIMATIC MicroDrive system offers quite a lot of solutions. One solution is that you have already a lot of safety functionality implemented. The ProfiSafe communication is possible with the F versions. STO, Safe Talk Off, is as a standard on the controllers, and additional safe speed, safe limit torque, safe limit speed, and so on is integrated. There are controllers available for 48-volt maximum DC power. The 24-volt is also possible for the controllers. We have integrated the Profinet communication and the safety functions. In combination with that, we have for connection motor cables from also product partners named Knotek and Harting, and as the actual working part and workhorse in this whole thing, the motor from Dunkermotoren, the brushless DC motors, where we have motors from minimum 50 watt up to 160 Newton meters in torque. So you can run with these motors for example, AGVs, which can transport easily some 2 to 3 tons of material through a warehouse. The system we offer from the motor side is a modular one. So we have options for brake systems integrated, encoder systems attached, various gear options to which we come later. As a communication and information, an EDS file is in the motor stored, which the controller can read out and the customer can use to pre-program the microdrive controller to avoid the tuning, which is usually needed when you operate a motor on a controller from a different manufacturer. In this case, this tuning is done already and the major parameters are filed here. The motor is fully compatible with the PDC controller and it is listed in the TIA portal if the right data is installed. So you can also read out the data from the motor of a table which is in the TIA portal mentioned. Siemens is also very heavily involved in the intralogistics, as you can figure out on their website, and their program called CMove is offering the major system to control and to maintain such a logistic system. So the feature Siemens offers is software which runs a fleet, which navigates or maintain the system overall, which defines interfaces between systems and provides you a component list with recommended hardware, which is not just motors, but also power supplies, HMIs or sensors to, for example, build up a complete AGV system over the CMove system. So in this case, you get a complete system from one hand, where the microdrive controller and the motors from Dunkermotoren are integrated too. On the microdrive, there is also integrated solutions from Dunkermotoren available, because the current controls, the current PDC controllers with the functions and the UL certification is currently limited to 600 watt. And therefore, if you need higher performance because the AGV, for example, needs to carry higher torque, then you can switch to integrated solutions, which Dunkermotoren also offers. And there we go up to 1 kilowatt and in peak up to 4 kilowatt for acceleration or peak torque. And this is a decentralized approach, but these motors are also recognized in the Siemens world and can also be found in the TIA portal as well. These motors come also with Profinet communication. Other field bus systems are also possible. The motors have STO integrated, but not the other safety functions the microdrive controller offers. So here is a little bit of limit, but there is option to add an additional high-res encoder to have an independent second encoder system. A brake can be switched independently when a safe control unit is in operation for the system. But the motors offer here motion code programming. We have this 4Q speed and position control integrated. And if you want to get more information about these motors and technology, then please refer either to the website or to other videos we provide on YouTube or our social media channels in terms of the the products. Additionally, IIoT is also a topic. Yesterday, they launched a new product in Dunkermotoren, and this can also be integrated in these motors. All right. Speaking of the modular portfolio, there is gearboxes options. We have for AGVs hub wheel solutions in different sizes as a combination with the motor, and this combined the wheel, the gear, and the motor as a one out of one hand solution. Additionally, we have angled gearboxes in bevel gear style available with a rugged design and hollow shafts for high torque applications, and the standard gear system of Dunkermotoren in warm and planetary gears are also combinable with the motors for both microdrive and the integrated decentralized solution for us. So with these various gearboxes, you have a huge variety to solve the application in the intralogistics, especially for AGVs and for robotic systems. But as almost every solution is individual, you need advice and support, and this we try to give you in various options. For AGVs and bots and such applications, we offer you the support, the application advice, motion code programming, and so on. So in this case, you need to contact us, but then you will experience the full and wide support for these products. If you want to scroll through and browse through the website, then you will find brochures and catalog for the motors and for the applications, where you can get a first glance on the products and the material. But we recommend strongly to get in touch with us and to talk with us, that we give you the advice which motor would suit the best and which application is solved with which solution the best. On the website, you get the information. You can scan the QR code and get directly then to the website, or you can contact me directly. Here are my contact details. As I said, the video will be shared later on YouTube, so all the data is then also available here. All right, this was merely it. Now the mics are open for answers and questions, or if we have something in the chat already, please feel free to ask.
Hello, Matthias. This is Jean-Philippe.
Hello.
Regarding the safety functionality, so all the drivers from MicroDrive are integrated with all the safety functions. Is it a standard, or you need to ask for specific safety function?
No, when the motor comes with the integrated controller from Siemens, the IQ encoder, and it is the F version of the control unit from the PDC controllers from Siemens, then all the safety functions are enabled. So it's not just the safe log off, it's also the other state speed and so on. Yeah. But there is the need of the IQ encoder. If you use a motor without IQ encoder, but with a second independent encoder, there are also safety functions, but not all of them are then available. Therefore, you have to refer to to the manual and see what is enabled, or you contact the Siemens. Hello, there is someone calling a phone and should be. Thank you. So then you should also refer to Siemens support what safety functions then are available when there is a standard second encoder system available.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Other questions?
Hello, Matthias. This is Bülent from Turkey.
Hello.
My question is, we are receiving such kind of inquiries from the Turkish customers regarding this micro drives, but they were always complaining the same issue, which is the motor cable. And as you have also mentioned in your presentation slide, you are directing the customers to another firm in this motor cable case. What is the reason behind this, and why Dunker is not offering this motor cable?
First of all, this is the product partner program, which is initialized from Siemens itself. And Siemens defined that the controller is from Siemens, the motor is from Dunkermotoren, and accessories such as cables come from the other product partners. So there are also product partners, as Dunkermotoren is one. A second reason is these manufacturers offer finished or fully manufactured cables. That means on both sides there is connectors and the connection is tested. Dunkermotoren has also cables to offer, but these cables are just single-sided, prepared with a connector, the connector to the motor. On the other side, there is stranded wires, and the customer has to manufacture then the cables by themselves. And there is then always the risk that, for example, the hall sensor signals are not in the right order, or the motor phases are not in the right order. And that causes then connection problems and commissioning problems. And to avoid that, Siemens set up these other product partners to provide cabling which fits completely. And with this combination of the three product partners, there should be a plug-and-play solution realistic. Yeah, so you can get cables from Dunkermotoren together with the motors, but they are just on one side manufactured. On the other side, the customer needs to manufacture the plugs to the PDC by themselves, and this can cause problems. Okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, some more questions?
Matthias, can I ask another one?
Yes.
The wheel solutions which were also presented in your slide, which motor models of Dunker is this applicable? Is it BG75? Is it BG95 or?
For what is it?
The wheels.
The hub wheels.
Yes, the hub wheels.
Yeah,
which Dunker motor models is it applicable?
Yeah, well, the hub wheels currently are available in two sizes, and a third size is currently under development. The small one is called NG250, and the bigger one is the NG500, and an NG1000 is in design phase. We have combination for the NG250 usually with the BG65S or the BG66 size, and for the hub wheel NG500 predefined is the BG75 by 50. But as it is modular, also a BG75 can be added to the smaller gear, but also a BG95 can be added to the NG500 gearbox. So it depends a little bit on the application, and the gearbox itself offers also, besides of the diameter of the wheel, various gear ratios, because there is a gear implemented. There is 1-stage and 2-stage gearboxes from, I think, the ratio 3:1 to 32. And according to the gear ratios, it can make sense to go for a smaller or bigger motor. So when there is an application with a hub wheel, it is actually advised and essential that you get directly in contact with us, gather some information about the application, weight, speed, acceleration performance, whether there is a hill climb or something. Then we can advise you in very detail which combination is possible. But the standard is 65S or 66 BG for the small one, and BG 75 for the middle one. Okay?
Thank you very much for your explanations.
Some more questions? All right, if not, then I want to close the webinar at this point. As said, the webinar is recorded and can be seen again on YouTube. My contact details are also in the video, so you can contact me then directly via mail or by phone. I will be of service, but of course there are also regional sales partners in your local area which you can contact and get support of. Thank you very much for everybody, and I hope you have a great day, and see you soon on upcoming webinars. Thank you.